Hello Art12, this is your demonstration on how to outline your house with your black pen and your ruler. So that's the only thing you're going to need for this part. There will be two other parts for shading. So I'll do a one part shading on the house and then I'll do one part shading for the background. So that people that didn't do a background or negative space, then you don't have to watch that. Okay, so you really just need to outline the house or anything that's closest to the viewer. I'm going to outline the streets as well, and then I'm just going to shade the background. I'm not going to outline the background. But if you want to, you can. It's not necessary. Okay, so you're going to start wherever looks easiest for you. I'm going to line up my ruler, and I want to make it to where I can kind of see the line that I'm going to trace just a little bit. So I'm being extra careful. So yes, you have to use your ruler to outline because you just spent all that time using the ruler to draw it. It's part of your craftsmanship grade. If your pen goes out, I just scribbled in the border. You can use your own pen. This pen, I try not to move the ruler on top of it. I would not use the Sharpie. So you're going to go through and outline the whole house. And if you have, for instance, this corner is going to go behind this plant. So I'm going to kind of outline the plant, and I only drew the corner until it met the plant. The rest of the plant kind of covers up that. So if you've added stuff that covers part of your structure, then you do not have to trace it. So for instance, again, the bottom of the house. And it's going to go behind this plant. And eventually, you're going to erase all the pencil of what you've traced. So if it's not perfectly on the line, it's okay. So I personally would get a whole area traced out before moving on. Okay, so let's go over a couple things to make sure that you have everything done. Do you have windows and at least one pane of glass? So either you've done a horizontal division or a vertical division. I have 4 panes of glass. I went a bit above and beyond, which is fine. Do you have your doors designed? So yes, you need to design your doors. What detail are you putting on them? I mean, they at least need a handle or a knob. You need to design your walkways. So walkways coming out from the doors and your driveway. So you at least need the concrete divisions. I went and added flagstone to mine. I wanted it a little bit fancier. Plus Frank Lloyd Wright used a lot of flagstone because it's found naturally in the environment. So then you do need one additional item. And that one item could be, you're making your sidewalks and road. That could be an additional item. And another item could be trees and plants, or one or the other. An additional item could be a fence. So I did keep my fence on this side only. And if you want a fence on this side of the house, you just have it go to the right vanishing point. An additional item could be your background. So do you want mountains, clouds, a sun? Do you want other buildings? So designing your negative space is also an option for an additional item. So you need to pick what additional item you're including and have that drawn in there before you start tracing. And if you're like me and you're like, I want it all, I want everything, well then, that's totally fine. You just make sure you have high quality. And you can always look up like how to draw something in 2-point perspective. So if you want to learn how to draw something that I did not show you, I just YouTube, like let's say I wanted to draw like a pool or something over here. How to draw a pool in 2-point perspective. I just YouTube it. There's tons of videos on YouTube. I will say sometimes they do not use their ruler. So you need to always use your ruler. Like half of your grade is using your ruler and aligning it with the vanishing points. So just pay attention to what vanishing point they use. And if they don't use a ruler, you need to use a ruler. All right, so I am not gonna have you sit and watch me trace everything. And the next part, I'm going to demonstrate shading the house. So we're just gonna do a little bit of shading to enhance our drawing and make it look a little bit more realistic. So I am gonna trace everything except for my background. So I'm not gonna trace the clouds, the sun, or the mountains, but everything else I am going to trace. If you haven't added other things, then I just pretty much say like whatever looks closest to you. And then of course, if you do want to trace everything, you can, but I'm going to try to make it look like atmospheric perspective, where this part is darker in value and then I have my background that will be lighter in value to make it look like it's further away. So it's up to you, but at least the house and your stuff up front needs to get traced out with a ruler with a black pen. Okay, have fun. Stay tuned for the next video.